joining today. We're going to be doing some different exercises using different techniques and different tools, working all of the muscles in the body in a different way. It doesn't take any special education. I'm going to step you through this step by step. We're going to have someone here to demonstrate so we can help you do this exercise correctly. So today we're going to do body weight exercises, and I call this the no excuse exercise workout. So everybody can do this because it doesn't require any equipment, it doesn't require a lot of space. So we're going to do just body weight exercises, and we're going to do it like a circuit workout, meaning we're going to do a strength training exercise followed up by a short cardio, and then follow it up and go from cardio to strength training. We're going to go through the whole body doing different strength training exercises. So by the time you're done with this workout, you're going to feel like you've really done something. Okay, today you're going to learn some TheraBand exercises, and you received a TheraBand in your exercise kit. There are some variations to the exercises, but with the assistance of your staff, you'll be able to do a complete upper and lower body strength training workout. We're going to do this workout again like the circuit workout for body weight only. We're going to do an exercise for strength training, and then we're going to do a little bit of cardio and then another strength training exercise, so you get a full workout with just one piece of equipment. Today we're going to do a workout using the ball that you received in your exercise kit. Again, it's a simple little tool, but we can do lots of different exercises with this. So once again, we're going to do some strength training with it, and then we're going to do a little bit of cardio, and then we're going to go back to some strength training exercises. The secret with the ball is to use your body as resistance. So as you're doing it, you're going to use the ball like you're pushing really hard on something, or your legs or arms are going through mud. So that's the key to remember with using the exercise ball, is pretend it's heavier than it is. So the first thing you have to do when you're doing any exercises, you have to warm up. So I'm going to have Laura, my assistant here, do some seated marches just to start off with. So just sitting in the chair, she's just going to march with her feet. And you want to warm up between 1 and 3 minutes. All right, so second thing in the warm-up we're going to do is some arm circles. We're just trying to get the blood flowing and warming up all the muscles that we're going to be using today. And you can go forwards, backwards, small, big, whatever you need to do, but just getting the blood flowing. The first exercise we're going to do is a chair squat. And a chair squat is an actual max lift for somebody. When you think about how many times a person gets up and down out of a chair, when a person doesn't have the strength in their legs to do so, they will use rocking motions, they will use the rail, they will use the door handle in a car, the pew in front of them at church. They'll use all these things to help them get up. And our goal is to get enough leg strength so that we don't have to do that. So for your client, if they're just starting out and they have never been able to do this before, we're going to want to do an assisted chair squat, and I'll show you what I mean. So Laura here can't get out of the chair without rocking or throwing herself up out of the chair. So what we're going to do is we're going to do as many as she can, and I'm going to assist her. She's going to stand up, and I'm going to hold her hands and help her get up. And the goal is to do as many as she can until she can't get up anymore. Okay? If a person is strong enough to get out of the chair, ideally nose over toes is our goal. She's going to be able to cross her arms and stand straight up without using anything to get up. This is our goal. So go ahead, Laura, and stand up and sit back down. That is our goal. So as a client progresses, you want to start out with the assisted and then hopefully get them to the point where they can get up and down out of the chair without assistance. And then from there, you want to see how they progress. I've had clients that weren't able to get out of the chair that started with 1 and now are able to do 20. So our goal is to get their legs strong enough to be able to do that. The next exercise we're going to do is a wall push-up. Now, ideally, you want their body to be straight during this whole exercise. Laura's going to place her hands on the wall about shoulder width apart, You want to keep the elbows in nice and tight, and you're going to lower slowly your whole body down to the wall. Keep those elbows in, and then push back up. Notice how she's not sagging at her hips. You want to keep it nice and tight. You make the exercise easier by moving closer to the wall with your feet. You make it more challenging by moving your body or your feet further away from the wall. You can also add variations of stacking your hands. You can do a wide grip, or you can do a staggered altered grip. But again, you want them to keep a nice tight core. They're not holding their breath, they're just keeping that belly button pulled into the spine. Again, doing this exercise to fatigue. Fatigue meaning I can't do anymore. So another great exercise that we can do without any equipment is a snow angel. This exercise is great for helping posture. We do a lot of things in our daily lives where we slouch, and we do a lot of things with our hands. So we're working, we're on our phones, our computers. So this exercise helps bring our posture back up where it needs to be. It loosens up the chest muscles and strengthens the back. It's also a great mobility exercise for the shoulders. So what Laura's going to do is she's going to stand with her back against the wall. She's going to try to keep her hands on the wall and make a snow angel with her hands. And you want to try to do the full range of motion the whole time. And again, tight core, you're not holding your breath. They're just pulling that belly button into the spine. This really fatigues the shoulders, so you're going to be good if you can get your client to do 10 to 15. So some options for cardio in between the strength training. You can do the seated marching, you can do the seated toe tap, which is basically sitting in a chair, tapping side to side. But we can also do those standing up. So marching in place is a great cardio option. We can do a lateral side step. We can do a lateral side step, which makes it into a low impact jumping jack. All of these are options that you can do for that cardio segment between the strength training exercises. At the end of every workout, I try to add a little bit of a core exercise. So we're going to do a seated core exercise today. It's called a seated ab extension. So Laura's going to go ahead and she's going to scoot to the front of the chair. Your feet should never leave the floor. She's going to cross her arms over her chest. She's going to lean back from her core. She's going to keep it tight. She's going to lean back only about 2 or 3 inches, keeping her feet on the floor, and then she's going to use her stomach muscles, her core, to come back up to the top of the position. So you're going to lean back, engage, and come back up. If your client flops all the way back to the chair, their core muscles are a little weak, just have them do a smaller range of motion. Something that they can do 10 to 15 times is ideally the range of motion we're looking for. Now we're going to demonstrate some of the exercises using the resistance band that you got in your exercise kit. As again, with any exercise, you want to do a 1 to 3 minute warm-up. So go ahead and do your marches. You can do your side steps, you can do your arm circles. 1 to 3 minutes, get your body nice and warm so it's ready for the activity. The first exercise we're going to do today is a leg extension with the band. So you're going to tie a knot pretty tight at the end of your resistance band. Laura's going to hold that in her hand. She's going to put the band under her foot, and she's going to extend that leg like she's trying to kick down. So bring that knee up and then push it down and extend. Squeeze and extend, just like that. And you want to do an exercise between 10 and 15 times and then switch sides. If your client is unable to hold it, you can always do just a leg extension without the band. They may not be ready for the exercise band, but you can still do that same exercise without it, okay? The next exercise we're going to do is a chest press using the exercise band. So Laura is going to go ahead and she's going to punch away from her body. I'm going to be holding the band. You adjust the resistance by tightening up on the bands. And you'll be able to feel when you hold the band what your client is going to be able to do. It can be lighter or stronger depending on where you place your hands on the band. Again, you're going to want to do 10 to 15 repetitions on each side. So the next exercise we're going to do for this routine is called a wood chop. And you can use anything in the house, whether you have soup cans, water bottles. You don't have to use anything if you don't want to. But it's a core exercise, and it's also a flexibility exercise. So Laura's going to go ahead and demonstrate. You're going to reach on one side and go across the body, and then reach and go across. You don't want to move the rest of your body, because by not moving the rest of your body, you're actually engaging more muscles. So you're trying to prevent movement while something else is moving. Again, feet should not come off the floor. You can go ahead and do 10 reps to 15 on each side. So a good choice for a cardio segment between strength training is also called a seated jack. Laura's going to demonstrate. It's a low impact jumping jack sitting in a chair. So you're going to go out and in. A low impact jack, you don't jump, but you can also do them just as easy sitting in a chair. So this is a seated row. This exercise is for the back. Again, Laura's going to pull her elbow back behind her. Make sure that your shoulders are relaxed. I'm going to adjust the tension based on what she can do. So she's going to row back. Notice how she's sitting nice and tall. Her core is engaged and nice and tight. She's breathing through the full range of motion. And I can make it easier by pulling my hand closer to her, or I can make it harder by pulling my hand further away, and it tightens up the band and makes it a little harder. So again, you got to base the tension on what your client is capable of doing. The last exercise that we're going to show on this particular video is a seated knee lift. This is a core exercise, so she has to engage her core and bring her knee up to my hand. Notice again how she's sitting nice and tall and brings one knee up at a time. You want to do, again, 10 to 15 repetitions on each side. So another great workout tool is just a kid's play ball. And you should receive one in your exercise kit, but we're going to show you some different ways that we can exercise with just a simple tool as a kid's ball. So the first thing you're going to do again is a 1 to 3 minute warm up. Do your marches in place, do your seated marches, your seated jumping jacks, your arm circles. Heck, you can just go for a walk around the whole house and then get started. It doesn't have to be complicated, okay? Once you're warmed up, the first thing we're going to do is going to be for the chest. And Laura's going to squeeze this ball like it's a balloon, and she's going to try to pop it. And she's just going to squeeze in and out about 20 times. And you always want to pretend like that ball is harder and heavier than it is. That's the secret to doing an exercise with this ball, is pretend like it's a lot harder than it is. Okay, the next ball exercise I'm going to show you is great for dexterity. It is great for flexibility. It's good for hand-eye coordination. What you're going to do is you're going to have your client walk the ball up and down using their fingers like they're playing the piano. They're going to walk the ball up, try to get full extension, and then walk the ball back down. And you're going to want to maybe do 2 to 3 times on each side. Okay, so this exercise, I call them foot circles. I really don't know what else to call them. But basically what Laura's going to do, she's going to put the ball under her foot. She's going to push the ball into the floor, and at the same time, she's going to do circles with her foot. So notice how the ball is flattened a little bit because she's pushing down on the ball. She's going to do about 5 or 10 in the one direction and then change direction. The same thing going the other direction. 5 to 10 times each direction, and then about 10 times on each side.